Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys had a good night tonight. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA, I make videos for NFL. All these videos they get posted on this subreddit right here. It's called DF Sports with one S. I make updates with all the news that comes out throughout the day. Anything you need, I make updates here. It's very, very important. So this Reddit post will be linked down below. You can ask me questions about the slate leading up to lock. I will always reply to you. And if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can do so on Twitter right here at Tori Langley 1992. So as you guys know, I show you my results every single day so you can gauge how I am doing as a daily fantasy sports player. So you can trust the content that I'm putting out. I think that's very, very important. Another good day. I think I've had like 6 straight days in a row of just cashing. I got owned tonight in NFL, so it's not going to be that good of a day, but once again, really, really good night. And if you are interested in, me how, like, I give you guys core plays, private videos, everything you need, showdown content, night slate content, pretty much anything, my Discord link will be down below as well, where I, try to do my best to help you guys get better at DFS. That's what it's all about. You guys help me get better. I try to help you guys get better. It's just a great space to be. So the core that I had for today, it did so-so. Luka was a core play for me. He did pretty good. Also, Thompson was a core play for me. He smashed. Um, Desmond Bain was a core play for me, but I swapped off him. I told everyone I was swapping off him as a core play. Desmond Bain did good though. So I had Desmond Bain and Omer at 7, but then we got news that Olynyk was starting and I couldn't afford him, so I had to go down to Jaren Jackson Jr. up to Seth Curry off of I think I had like I forget who I had, and then up to Olynyk. So that was the reasoning there of playing Jaren, and he was starting at the 5, so he was a really good play. But Bane did well. He over 5x'd, and then Mike Muscala is a core play for me. He busted. Kelly Olynyk was a core play for me too. I had a core of 5 today, so it was 3 smashes, 2 bust. But how did the Kelly Olynyk faders know? Kelly Olynyk is over a fantasy point per minute guy. He started tonight. How on earth did they know he would have the worst game in his career? How did they know? How did they know? Showdown went great as well. As you can see, I just ran two lineups basically. All right, 3 lineups. All 3 of them cashed. I did different variations. The lineup that won was my lineup, but it just had Pal over Wreath. So yeah, I just had Pal over Wreath. Was 6 points from binking. So really, really good day overall. Hopefully you guys had a great day as well. But let's get into this 5-game slate for tomorrow, the 12th. All right, so Cleveland at Boston, pretty ghost game environment here. We'll have to keep an eye on Mobley. I don't think he's ruled out yet. Also, Karis LeVert's going to be out. We already know that. So we'll keep an eye on Mobley. So if Mobley's out again, they're going to run a really tight rotation with both guards. Garland played 40 minutes tonight. Donovan Mitchell, we know, is going to play 40 minutes. So I think they're firmly in play for tournaments. Not my favorite spend ups on this slate, but I much prefer them to Phoenix is going to have everyone healthy. I definitely prefer AD to them, but yeah, they're going to play huge minutes. They're going to run the show offensively. They're going to do everything for this team. So I think they're firmly in play. I think now that Garland's close in price point to Mitchell, I just prefer Mitchell to Garland. But I think they're both solid options. Not the best of spots, like I said, but they're going to play huge minutes. If Mobley's in, I'm not going to play anyone else. But if Mobley is out, then yeah, Jared Allen, he got into massive foul trouble tonight. If you played him tonight, I feel so bad for you. If you played him this game, he was a good play this game as well. Just so unfortunate. If Mobley is out and he can stay out of foul trouble going up against Boston, his rates at the 5 are so much better than when he's playing alongside Mobley. And I think due to recency bias, he is going to be low owned tomorrow. So if you get the good Jared Allen game with him at the 5, you're probably going to win all the money. So I have interest in Jared Allen for tournaments. I think he'll be way under owned than he should be. Max Strus is priced right, and then if Mobley's out, they'll start Dean Wade. I mean, he's playable. It's absolutely disgusting. We don't have a ton of value right now, so I'm fine with it, but really, really bad point per minute guy. Tonight was his ceiling, but playable value. Niang is overpriced. Okoro is overpriced. Definitely Wade would be the guy I'd go to if you were to pick one of those values. Moving on to Boston, so tough spot here. I don't like much here. Like sub 10K Tatum is probably my favorite play on Boston. He is their clear go-to guy. He's a stat sheet stuffer. He's playing huge minutes. Boston's running a tight rotation, so those are the upsides and pluses to Tatum, and you get the cheap price point. So I think Tatum's solid, but outside of that, I mean, Brown, Porzingis, Drew, White. I mean, when this team's fully healthy, everyone just dominates usage here. Like everyone has a decent. Like they all put up fantasy points, right? And they're all priced up, so it's like tough for me to prioritize any of them. I guess my favorite play, like I said, is Tatum. If I had a second favorite play for tournaments, it would be Kristaps Porzingis, just because I think he has the second highest floor plus ceiling combo of this group. But all more contrarian plays for me. Like Drew Holiday feels priced right, Derek White feels priced right. They're going to run basically a 7-man rotation. You're going to see some Hauser, you're going to see some Pritchard. They're both fine large field tournament darts, but I think better value will open up. So pretty unappealing team to me, but I definitely think Tatum is solid, and I think definitely have some interest in Porzingis. So all right, Anthony Davis is questionable. We have LeBron questionable as well. So we know LeBron's going to play. It's a good spot going up against Dallas. I love Anthony Davis today going up against Derek Lively. Now, I will say Luka is definitely the best spin up on the slate, but if you don't want to play Luka, I think Anthony Davis is right up there. I think it's just a cupcake spot. I really like Anthony Davis for tournaments today. Definitely prefer him to LeBron as well. LeBron's fine at 9.72. I would just much rather play Anthony Davis, though. D'Lo Reeves. So the Lakers have been switching up the closing lineup, so the minutes have been a little up and down with both. I think both are interesting tournament plays, just because when they do get minutes, they are going to, they're both solid point per minute, and I think the price points are definitely, reasonable. I think they look pretty similar to me. I think both are fine options. No standouts, but I'm definitely okay clicking on them as like last pieces in. So D'Lo Reeves, I think are solid, and then Reddish, Prince, Rui, I think, are all solid values. So Rui got into foul trouble early and he got benched. I think normally we're going to get around 20 minutes from him, which makes him a solid value. And then Prince, Reddish, we're probably going to get around 25 to 30 minutes from either of them. I think are fine to solid values. I prefer Reddish to Prince. And then if Anthony Davis is out, that changes everything. Then obviously LeBron's going to look amazing. Rui Hachimura is going to get a big boost. I would really like him. Deal would get a bump. He'd be solid. Reeves would be solid. We'll monitor who starts. Like if they start Vanderbilt, I like Vanderbilt for value. He's also questionable. We'll just see. They could do a number of things with the starting lineups. I'll make some updates on Reddit when we get that info. And then another team to talk about here is going to be Dallas. Here's what I will say: if Tim Hardaway Jr. got late scratch today, not late scratch, and then Derek Jones Jr. got injured, we could have Grant Williams back. I haven't seen anything yet, and then we'll see about Kyrie. He is day to day, I want to say. So if everyone's out that was out tonight, including Derek Jones Jr., then obviously Luke is the best spendable of the slate. I absolutely love him. I absolutely love Dante Exum. You guys knew I was extremely high on him, still at this price point. Still extremely high on him once again. Derek Lively, I think, is very, very solid. He's going to play huge minutes. He's been really good of late. I like him quite a bit. Jaden Hardy, Seth Curry, I think are solid values. Seth Curry started tonight. Had a pretty bad game. I think they're kind of going to go with the hot hand between these two, so whoever's lower owned maybe is the better option, but both would be solid values. Olivier Prosper, I want to say, started the second half. If he starts, I like him. There would just be a lot to like here with Dallas if all these guys are out again. Now, if we get a situation where, Tim Hardaway Jr.'s in and Derek Jones Jr. are in, then I still like Exum a ton. I like Lively still a lot. I love Lucas still. It would mainly just Tim Hardaway Jr. would be a solid play. It would mainly just take like Hardy and Seth Curry out of play for me. Then if we get a situation where they're all in, then there wouldn't be much here. But I'm definitely expecting a lot of these guys to miss tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot to like here with Dallas. Moving on to Denver, so Jokic probably going to be the lower owned than Lucas. If you want to go to Jokic, that's completely okay. Good spot going up against Chicago. Insane ceiling, insane floor. So anytime you can get a low owned Nikola Jokic, he's always going to be a great play. Now, I don't know what happened tonight. I really, really don't. Like, Strother just randomly played 28 minutes. Holiday's out of the rotation. You saw a bit of Peyton Watson tonight. I really don't know what they're doing here. I don't, but it's absolutely disgusting. I think there's definitely better value. I don't think I'll be going to any of those guys. Michael Porter Jr., I think, is overpriced. I will say I do like Jamal Murray at 7.3. I think this price point's too cheap. It is a back-to-back, so keep an eye on if he's going to be playing or not, and if he's going to be on a limit. Like, if I knew a 7.3K Jamal Murray played 33 minutes tomorrow, he would be too cheap. So I definitely do like some Jamal Murray for tournaments. Aaron Gordon's price right. Reggie Jackson out to play. I'm not going to go to anyone else. Chicago, so I believe Levine is still out, and Alex Caruso, I would assume will be back. We'll see. Um, we know what's going to happen. These three guys, they're going to dominate the usage. If they're going to keep this game close, they're all going to have big games. Chicago's so bad, so there is blowout risk here. But DeMar, Vooch, I think are both solid plays up in the mid range. You guys know is extremely high on Kobe White. He's just playing huge minutes. He's coming to his own. He's stuffing the stat sheet. I have no issue paying this price point for him. I think he's solid play once again. Patrick Williams is very, very safe. He's going to play huge minutes. I wish he was cheaper. He's priced right, but very, very safe. Fine as like a last piece in. Ayo Dosunmu, if you played him tonight, I mean, my goodness, what a performance. He's overpriced. Andre Drummond's overpriced. Torrey Craig, overpriced. There's not much with the value. I just mainly have interest in the main three guys. Chris Paul going to be back, it seems. So Steph Curry, basically the only one I think in play for me. Like, if you want to go to like a Draymond Green, it's fine. We know he's going to stuff the stat sheet. I don't know if he necessarily has a slate winning ceiling at this price point, but very, very safe. Also playing big minutes, but we do have Chris Paul back, which is going to hurt a little bit. Klay Thompson's priced right. Andrew Wiggins, I would say, is priced right, but he does have a ceiling. Don't love it. And then the value's all overpriced, especially with Chris Paul coming back. Like, I'm not going to play Kuminga. He gets killed. Like, Kevon Looney, he's not playing a ton right now. It's tough. Can't get to any of this value. All right, looks like everyone's going to be back for Phoenix here. So with everyone back, there's just not much here. If you want to go to a contrarian Booker as a spend up, I think it's okay, but I rank all the other spend ups ahead of him. Kevin Durant will monitor if he's on a limit, but with him and everyone healthy, it's tough to pay that price point for him. Bradley Beal, I'd assume, would be on a limit. If he's not on the limit, I guess he's fine for tournaments. Yusuf Nurkic, he loses usage, also could lose minutes as well. I would say he's overpriced. Eric Gordon, definitely overpriced. And then all the value is just basically out of play for me. Yeah, tough sledding there with the Suns. Now, Sacramento, I like Fox and Sabonis for tournaments. I don't think anyone's going to click on either of them. I think they could just abuse Zubac here in two-man games. So I think Sabonis and Fox are solid. But the guy I really like is Malik Monk. 6.1K. They refuse to raise his price point. He's playing 30 minutes a game right now. He's stuffing the stat sheet. He's super high usage off the bench. He's everything going right for him. I think he's a very solid play at 6.1. He'll probably be pretty chalky tomorrow, but I think it's for good reason. The wings, they all look similar to me. They're all playable. Harrison Barnes is fine. Keegan's fine. One of these guys will get benched for Malik Monk, so they're all risky. I think more often than not, it will be Herter. But all fair values or fair plays. I think Barnes probably looks the best at his price point. It is the safest. And then Trey Lyles, I do like for value. Should get high teens minutes, solid point per minute off the bench. Don't have a ton of value right now, so depending the Dallas situation, so I do like some Trey Lyles for value. Moving on to the Clippers, so it's a good spot. I'm pretty high on the main Clippers. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, I think all look very solid at their respective price points. I never get any of these guys right, but I like their price points in this matchup, especially because it's a small slate. So Paul, Kawhi, Harden, I think all look very solid. Kawhi probably my favorite between the three, which means fade him because I'll probably play him, and it's probably going to be like the James Harden or Paul George game. But at their price points, I think they all look pretty solid to me. Westbrook's overpriced. I like Zubac too, quite a bit at 6.2. They're just playing him big minutes right now. So sign me up for some Zubac at 6.2. And then Norm Powell, I think, is priced right, but he has gotten a minutes uptick of late. Fine tournament play with the ceiling he has. I definitely prefer Powell to man. Daniel Tice will play the backup five, but with Zubac playing a ton of minutes right now, Tice isn't going to play a lot. But if he gets like 15 minutes, he's fine. So that's going to wrap it up for the slate, guys. I hope you guys had a good night tonight, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.